What is going on, everybody out there in Twitter, Facebook, YouTube land, wherever you're watching? This is the Warzone Sports Network live edition. I am your host, Tony Tucker. And Joe and I had some fun with this experiment where we just kind of go through some of the trending topics that are happening in sports and we talk about them. Before I get to all of what you can see some of the people we're going to be talking about: J. Cole, Steph and LeBron, Pujols, still in Los Angeles, and many more. We had the start of the Madden rookie tournament, and I lost my mind because Kyle Trask was my pick, and he lost in the first round after taking a bunch of sacks. It was terrible. Joe's in the lead, but there's a lot of competitive brackets, and the tournament will be on again this Friday. Joe, any thoughts on the tournament, the Madden tournament?
It's turned out real good, and I'm waiting to see the show after this one with Joe Skirdo. He breaks it down. I want to see how good it is. He said he's pulling out his inner Chris Berman and going all out on it. So I want to see. It's set to air right after our show today, but I'm good.
I believe so.
And Tony, I don't know how you brought me back on here. How you brought me on here, and you didn't mention that the tag team. We're the tag team, Tony. We're the Warzone Sports Network tag team. We're better than this tag team.
Yes, sir.
Legion. It's Tony Tucker.
Hawk and Animal. That was the Legion of Doom. Was my favorite tag team growing up. It was them, and then there was also the Killer Bees. It was like Jim and Brian, the Killer Bees. It was not great. Although the Rockers were pretty cool.
Everybody talks about because I grew up still. Like when you hear Stone Cold's music, it was one thing. Like you hear that glass break, or you hear the Rock's music when you smell, But when you heard "What a Rush," like that was the original one that got you like, oh crap, here they come with their shoulder pads, everything. You're ready to go. We
just started a mosh pit in the living room. Me and my brother, just black eyes, just beating the crap out of each other, pretending to be Hawk and Animal as kids. So loved it. Couldn't get enough of that tag team duo. And then they always used to make me be Mabel because I was big. You remember Mabel?
Yeah, I remember Mabel. That's messed up.
It was messed up. They'd put me in this like purple robe that my mom had, and they'd be like, "You're Mabel," and then they'd try and throw me out of the ring in like Royal Rumble style. Just a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I don't know if you to go off topic a little bit. Did you grow up with backyard wrestling too?
We did. We did more snow wrestling, like King on the Mountain style. We would have we'd be at the top of a snowy hill doing like a Royal Rumble.
Okay, yeah, that's a little different than backyard wrestling here. And I had backyard wrestling where we were jumping on trampolines and all that kind of stuff.
No, I didn't. I wish that I would have, though. I'd have been into that. All right. My first topic of the show that I want to get in and talk about, and I was hyped listening to it coming in, and that's the J. Cole debut in Africa. Played about 17 minutes, had 3 points, made like a technical free throw, had a putback and a layup out there. But what I realized in this was one, because I had this theory that I ran past my friend. We live in this like crazy world that's almost like idiocracy, where we're like electing, reality TV stars to the highest office in the land. Are the biggest fights that are going on right now are YouTube stars versus some of the greatest boxers to ever put on gloves, to ever tape up their hands. Though that's what's moving units. So I was like running the idea by him. I'm like, is there an opportunity for a team like the Pistons or the Thunder or somebody who needs to move some jerseys or some tickets where J. Cole could get a couple of minutes in the NBA, sign like a 10-day contract at the end of a season? There it is. Oh. This part right here, the dreamer thing, this is why I think J. Cole is a genius. As I was looking into it, the last time he started his NBA talk, he had basketball shoes that were going out with Puma. A dreamer. We all hope that something can collide and put us over the top. But this guy's so smart. He's like, yep, I'm starting my professional basketball career on another continent. And it happens to coincide with the release of his album. Like, the man is a genius. The video that he put out a year ago where Master P is like narrating underneath it, it's also hype. Like, he's just so smart. I listened to the whole album. I'd be interested, anybody who has heard it out there who watches this part of the show. Mm-hmm. Pride is the Devil. That's my favorite song on there. Yeah. Bless. How does that song go? Down in Africa.
I bless the rains down in Africa. We're gonna get out. We better keep our voices because we don't want to be signed away for our vocals here. Some great vocals here on the Warzone Sports Network.
Well, yeah, we also don't want to be paying for that. I forget who made that song. My mom used to play that when I was a kid, and I was always just like, what is this? What are we playing right now? But I love it. But yes, the J. Cole album coinciding with the drop there. There is no way. The only reason he would have thrown her out of the car is because he's jealous. Because the man's got skills. He'd have been like, no, we're listening to my album. And she's like, your album is junk. I want to listen to the new J. Cole. And he's like, what? Pop! Pushed her out of the car. Just doing her dirty like that. But
get on out of here.
Exactly. He's like, you don't like my new mixtape? No, we don't. It's junk. But the devil is Pride is the Devil. I'm sorry. Is definitely my favorite track on that new album. We're going to stick around in the NBA because the play-in tournament is set. The one game, obviously, that I am most interested in is, you can see it right here. We got the Lakers squaring off with the Golden State Warriors. And everybody, like, I get a friend call, are you worried? Steph has LeBron's number. Stop it. Steph, KD, Clay, Draymond, they had LeBron's number. But not this squad. Not Kelly Oubre and Jordan Poole and whatever. Like, it's not the same thing. I don't want people trying to put the fear in me. Like, I should be afraid. Look at that. Hey, Joe, how are you going to do this? Have somebody pint-sized like Steph Curry stealing a rebound from LeBron. You won't find the one highlight where he out-rebounds him. He did look kind of fierce, though, like a warrior. LeBron would have. What really happened is he snatched that away. You know, like when my little brother tried to take my candy as a kid. I was like, get over here. Give me that. I'll beat your... Get, that whisper talking that you get. So, like your mom or somebody older than you is just going to whoop you in church. Yeah. But we get LeBron in this tournament, and we get Steph Curry. Adam Silver's pumped. I'm not even going to go down that road. But look at that. About to cross him over at 38 years old. Right there. Snapping ankles. I would like to say this. I didn't really care for the Steph Curry hype going into this, but this is kind of the new basketball era where we're all like friends and we're all praising each other and saying nice things. I didn't like it, but I do have this theory. I believe that this is LeBron in an attempt to play with Steph Curry at the end of his career. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't think Steph comes to the Lakers or whatever happens, but if he's like, oh yeah, Steph's the MVP, or is LeBron trying to legitimize what was going on in Cleveland all those years when he was getting teams to the finals and he felt like he didn't have enough talent around him? I can't quite figure it out. But saying like, oh yeah, Steph's the MVP, it just felt like a little too nice to me. There has to be some ulterior motive behind it.
So you're saying you don't want to see this?
Oh, I welcome it. I would love this. I'd be on fire every single day if Steph left Golden State and came here. Oh, Africa by Toto. Thank you, Nick Mack. I knew I needed a fellow old head to hit me. Toto, there it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I agree, Sean. Can we get that picture back up there one more second? That was beautiful. And this isn't like a Space Jams photo. Look at that right there. These two, AD sneaking in to finish it off, connecting them unibrow to unibrow. These two, those three on the court at the same time. I'd be in heaven to see this.
Mike said he'll buy a jersey immediately.
Immediately.
Mike loves buying jerseys though.
Although personally, I really would like to see Steph Curry finish his career in Golden State. If not, head back to Charlotte where he's from. But I didn't love it. I also too like, because I like to mess around with writing and stuff once in a while, and I started working on something I have not finished, but it was that LeBron James should not be a top 10 player in the NBA anymore. Like, not that he couldn't be, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't play more than 25. He should just be the best player in the playoffs every year. Save himself. Be more of a CP3 than a LeBron James.
So just save it all in. Don't play the regular season.
Not save it all. Like, he's clearly got to get there. Oh, I don't know how you're getting these that fast, but this is the dream right here. Like, I'm going to print this poster off, print this picture out, make a poster, and hang it in my room. Although my wife would burn it immediately. She'd be like, "You're a grown man. You no longer get to hang pictures of other grown men in your bedroom. This is not your."
But it's Steph Curry and LeBron.
She'd be like, "Put that shit out in the garage next to your jerseys and you're killing me Smalls poster," right? But I could remove some stuff around. I could fit that poster into my life because it just looks so damn good to see those three wearing the same colors. But I would like to hear from basketball fans out there on whether or not, like, LeBron James should legitimately trying to be MVP or LeBron James every year. Like the LeBron James that we know. I would like to see more of a late Jason Kidd type role at the end of his career. I don't want to see him out there diving around. He's too old for that. I don't want to see him playing 30, 40 minutes a night on a back-to-back in Detroit in OT. I just don't want to see it. I want to see him in the playoffs at full capacity, dominating any team that dares get into his way. I want LeBron flexing on folks all day.
Do you think this kid wants to go and see LeBron James not play in the regular season? This kid, he's known for saying, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
If he spent his hard-earned money, right, then I would feel bad for him if he missed out on it. I feel bad for any kid who would miss out on possibly getting there. We got people in these comments. I know you're looking for photos. Let me get over here and see what's going on. My Lakers are going to squash little baby Steph. I agree. I 100% agree. I don't think that game's close. I gave somebody double-digit points because I think the Lakers are going to make a statement in that game. It's going to be a ton of defense in the first half by them and just trying to run the score up. Get that jersey immediately. We would. Okay, this is a lot. THT, Drummond, and Kuzma, that's a lot for Steph Curry because although I would do it. I'd probably throw some picks in there too. All right, fan question. How many more rings do you think LeBron will win? I think one. And I'm not 100% sure that it's this year, but I do believe that LeBron, I don't think the last jersey he's going to wear is going to be the Lakers either. I believe that he's going to glom on with like Luka. I could also see him doing a thing where maybe the Knicks get good and he goes and plays like sort of that Derrick Rose role, but he starts. I don't think LeBron, because LeBron wants to do a bunch of things. He wants to catch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He wants to pass and set all these records that they can't be touched. But I do think he wins another title. I just am not sure it's this year or as the number one, because I don't have a ton of faith in running this back next year. Brooklyn's going to be better. The face I made when LeBron said he was the best player on the planet. I'm so no, I don't. I'm the kind of person that I've never lived in a world where Steph Curry is better than LeBron James. But that's me. I hear other people saying, as a matter of fact, on this show, Into the Crosshairs, Nick Mack had somebody on there, this guy who said, I never miss. He had a guy on that said, Steph Curry's the best player in the world right now. And I was like, okay, come playoff time, we need to see it.
You know who LeBron needs? He needs the ultimate teammate. The ultimate guy who's going to come out here, have his back for every game, but he can't get it. He just doesn't get it. He needs Bill Murray.
He does need Bill Murray.
I think he's retired now. His knees after that one game couldn't take it.
He does. Bill Murray, Bugs Bunny,
and Michael Jordan's magic stuff or whatever.
Right? I'm so excited for the Space Jams movie. In other basketball news, the inspiration, he's heating up. He's on fire. Marv Albert is retiring after these NBA playoffs are over. And that was sad to me because this is like the guy that was there for video games. He's just been hype the whole career, getting it going. Look at Marv. This guy's a stud announcer. And like I said, the inspiration. Until today, I didn't even know that wasn't his voice. Like I was looking stuff up and I was like, I was writing things down. Oh, Marv Alberts? Wasn't he the voice? He's the voice of NBA Jam. It's not. It was a guy who was doing an impression of Marv Alberts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't know that until probably 38 minutes ago that he wasn't the voice. He just inspired the voice for NBA Jams.
Well, it's because Marv Albert's been calling games since you were a kid, right?
Yes. yes. I remember him sitting down here with, I believe, actually, I don't know who that is. I thought that was the former coach of the Boston Celtics, but I'm not sure that is Red Auerbach in that photo. But yeah, it's another one of those things where when you see like, oh, he's going to be like 80 or whatever in June, it's like, oh shit. Well, you're getting old too, like, what is this? Can we get this comment up here? Curry is going to hit 5 threes in the fourth quarter and take the Lake Show 119-101. Bro, no way. That is not happening. There is no way that they blow them out by 18 points in LA. I don't care how hot Steph is, Bobby Wamper.
Is there any chance that the Lakers lose this one on purpose to win the next one and play the number 1 seed? So they can you think they just want to win right now?
Yes. There's you can't play around with that in like a 1-game elimination. If it was the regular season, I could see them maybe trying to go for a matchup thing or something. Oh, he says no, the Lakers win 119. Okay. I'm way more on board with that score. Yes. No, the Lakers win. Okay, Bobby, just between you and me, I can't read. Like, I just can't read very good. I need to drag my finger, but I think it would be weird if every show I was like, dot, 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 across the bottom of the screen trying to read the comments. So I do my best. My best is not good enough. It's just not. No, you can't. Joe, what happens if you mess around and all of a sudden you get knocked out? All of a sudden you're just messing around. This isn't an Ice Cube song. Messing around, get a triple-double. It's not like that. You can't play around. Today
Lakers
was a big day. What is it?
Lakers getting bounced.
Lakers getting bounced. Being trolled by Randy Pepperton. Thank you, Randy. Can we talk about the Clippers and Nuggets tank to avoid the Lakers? This is funny because I just talked to a Clippers fan and he thinks they're trying to avoid the Suns. Like, is that what that comment said? Did I read that right?
Yeah, it was big talk today on sports radio about that. Like when I was driving to work and stuff, listening, they were all talking about how the Clippers maneuvered their way. But come on, the Clippers are not afraid of the Lakers. Nobody over there is going. If anything, the Lakers are more afraid of the Clippers than anybody else.
Well, my argument to them avoiding the Lakers is, wouldn't you want to catch the Lakers while they're still trying to get like cohesiveness? Why would you want to potentially catch them in a second round where they got the wheels moving in the right direction and now all of a sudden they have a little momentum, they're a little healthier, maybe they finish their first round series in 4 or 5 games and you are the Clippers, so it takes you to 7 to finally close the deal on something, and now all of a sudden you're getting a rested, well-oiled machine that is the Los Angeles Lakers. They would want them in the first round, trying to catch them while they're still trying to regain that footing to me. But my friend, brother-in-law said he believes if they were ducking anybody, it was the Suns. But I don't really believe that either because I think they won that season series 2-1. I don't think the Clippers are ducking anybody. I think they're just trying to be healthy. Sports dude, what up? Sports dude, who you got in that game? It better be the Lakers over the Warriors. All right, let's go. Let's move to this. because I read an article that I thought was very amusing, and that was Tom Brady's landlord in Tampa Bay, Derek Jeter, just sold his home. Tom Brady's homeless in Tampa. I feel bad for him. I wonder if he had a place to go. If he's got a place, a shingle. Where's Tom Brady? Yeah. Derek Jeter sells a beachfront mansion. Look at this thing. Are you kidding me? This has got like helicopter landing pads on the roof. It's like,
why do you need a swimming pool with the water right there?
It looks like exactly. Thank you, Joe. Probably because there's dead bodies and freaking expired hookers floating in that little whatever's like back there. But you have like an infinity pool next to the ocean, assumably, or some sort of tributary running through the backyard. But can you put that back up there? Because this looks like the White House. Like it looks like Derek Jeter had them build in southern Florida, put the White House in the middle of some private golf course. Like just how amazing. The other house next to it that has a tennis court in the backyard, kind of modest. It still has a freaking tennis court in it. But that house or the other house has like a boat dock, whatever. I'm sure Jeter could use that. Although I don't think you could fit his yacht in here. Maybe that's what he did. Maybe the fallback plan, Jeter was like, bro, I got a yacht. You can use that. Like
you're looking at this house and like, imagine being the neighbors. You thought you had the nicest house on the block. And then this house was built and you're like, what?
This just ups the real estate value, though. Like, you got to love that. Like, whenever you move to an area and somebody's fixing up their house, they're redoing it, repainting, redoing the lawn, the landscape, whatever, you're like, great. Let's just up the resale value in this neighborhood. Make it look nicer. But
if you bought that house, that Tom Brady was doing this in the backyard right here.
Yes, I would too. I would be like, especially if you're a kid, like you'd have the coolest TikTok ever. Your TikTok would just be like just watching Tom Brady work out in the back. Like you'd just be every day going live, watching Tom Brady juggle avocados and do his little foot drills in the back, working with his stretchy bands. Him and Guerrero just back there, TB12, elasticity, bending, whatever that is.
You got to hope that now that Brady's going to be homeless or whatever, he's not going to be living in the house. Hopefully he doesn't do what he did when he first got there and goes and finds this guy's house again. Remember when he walked in this guy's house?
Oh, that would be the greatest thing ever, right? Tom Brady just stumbles in. But I love this new Tom Brady. Like his football career, technically old enough to drink now, and he's like letting his hair down, trespassing in parks, breaking and entering, just making myself at home at Tampa Bay. This Tom Brady is so much fun. It makes me not want to hate him because he's so good on social media. So funny. Like for a while I was like, he's not writing all this stuff. He's not doing all this stuff. And then somebody convinced me it's probably just his personality. We've just never gotten to see it. But I'm a fan of this Tom Brady. Stumble into somebody's house, like drunk, have that moment. He's just like, oh, I'm just pissing over here. And you're like, bro, that's my living room. Like when you're just binge drinking and loving life in Tampa Bay. And then he wins the Super Bowl to boot. Week 4. Cannot wait for week 4. One of my good friends from that area is like, he has family members who can't afford the tickets because they're just going through the roof.
I think they're the highest tickets right now in the NFL at like $1,300 at the cheapest, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he's there. Yes, this Tom Brady. We love this. I love this Tom Brady. This is the guy.
Blaine Gabbert, though.
That's why only reason why Blaine Gabbert has a job was this right here. Keep him upright. Offensive linemen will do their job in the regular season, but homie, when we get on this boat, you don't drink. You make sure Tom doesn't fall to the bottom of the Chesapeake Bay holding the Super Bowl trophy because he's over here getting sloshed on that avocado tequila. So I'm a fan.
You make sure he stays up.
Yes. Bruce Arians, like, if you want a job, make sure Tom doesn't drown because he's getting blotto today and it's going to be a good time. This is
my best part. When he tossed this, oh my. Imagine if he missed and somebody had dive in after that.
Oh, Gronk's going in. Not even Gronk doesn't even hesitate. My thing was more like, what if somebody caught that thing in the teeth? That just ends the parade right there on a real sour note. Tom Brady completes a pass with Cameron Brate's face, and there's just blood and teeth. It just a mess. Looks like somebody took a bag of chiclets and tomatoes and just went pop, pop, smashed it on the ground, and then emptied it everywhere. That's the best analogy I could come up with on short notice. I didn't know we were talking about Tom Brady here. Not talking about him like this, that's for sure.
You didn't know we were going to go that detailed into Tom Brady's life.
No, but that's what I love. That's why I love doing these trending shows, just talking nonsense. Let's keep the show moving along here. Albert Pujols is a Dodger. When I saw this, I thought of you. I cried a little bit. I treated you like Argentina, and I was crying for you, Argentina, because you can't have. Okay, first of all, the Dodgers have like run into the worst like injury bug or whatever. Like they didn't get bit; they got swallowed by the injury bug. Bellinger's been out. Rios went down. Now Seager, and you're bringing in Albert Pujols, who really hasn't been good in not a minute, like a decade. Like he's been good. That's been the problem, I think, because he had that big $30 million a year contract, and he was just good for a decade in Los Angeles. How do you feel about your Dodgers signing Albert Pujols?
It doesn't fit any of the moves the Dodgers have been making. They bring in versatile players. They're bringing guys who can play multiple positions. If he was this Albert Pujols from 10 years ago, cool. But this doesn't even look right. This looks like crap. Most people put on the Dodger blue and they look good. He looks like crap. Like, get it out of here. He's going to wear number 55, and I'm going to think of Russell Martin every time he comes to bat.
Wait, why is he wearing 55? Is that his real age? Did he finally admit?
It could be. You know what I mean? Like,
did he finally admit? That was in one of our private chats, people were like asking for birth dates or whatever for some reason. And I was going to give one of those like Danny Almonte birth certificates where like I'm clearly old, but I was going to say that like I was like,
we found his birth certificate that he gave his coach when he was little. You know, that's Albert Pujols. Like when he was 12 years old, I am 12.
I am 12.
I don't know. You ever seen that movie Benchwarmers?
Yes, I have. Oh, yes. It's always weird because there was a couple things like that. I had a good baseball team. They were my age group was 2 games away from playing in the Little League World Series. And there was a guy that they were like, they just started yelling, Gillette, the best a man can get when this kid would get up to the plate. Because he was like ready to shave. He had to be 16, 17 years old, but they were like, nope, he's 12. Here's his birth certificate. And it's like, really? Like this guy could be playing, he could be trying out for the Nebraska Cornhuskers at offensive line as a walk-on. Like he was just a monster.
All I was thinking is the Dodgers front office was sitting there like this, and they were like, Albert Pujols, he's so hot right now. He's so hot right now.
Yes. Oh, the new Derelict campaign.
You know what I mean? Like, why? I don't get it. And then you have Bellinger sitting there, and Bellinger's like, hey, bro, he's going to teach me a lot. Albert Pujols to the Dodgers? That's a great move. Like,
he does always look stoned. But you just reminded me of a funny quote from Zoolander. I like the better Magatu one. If Albert Pujols walked in and Dave Roberts was like, lose 5 pounds immediately or you're fired. Because he's gotten a little chunky. He's not the machine anymore. He's more of the simple machine, or like, you know, he's not the can opener that you just put the can on. It's like, and it just takes it off. He's like, grind it. You got to use a little elbow grease to get something out of this machine. And like you said, the fit doesn't make any sense. You got to put him at first base. And then what happens to Muncy? He can't play third anymore. Is he just going to DH when you play American League teams? Like, and even so, I would rather have the rake in Kershaw's hands after I saw him slap a single to the gap than I wanted in Pujols at this point. I don't know.
Albert Pujols, I don't get what they're doing. He's gonna have to walk around. He's gonna find out who am I? Who am I?
He's gonna be like, I'm a merman.
I got the black lung pop.
I think I have the black lung pop. Yes. The juice right out of your veins. You know the sunshine when they're loving.
Yeah, because
We got the jitterbug. The jitterbug.
that's what I'm saying. There's only one thing that could probably fix this right now for Albert Pujols, and I don't know, Tony. I don't recommend this, but this always helps people. Always helps them when they're in a bad situation. Orange mocha frappuccinos.
Orange mocha frappuccinos, and then you get to the jitterbug, and it just hits.
I got stuck on Zoolander for a little bit.
Oh no! Please don't apologize for that. Everybody loves Zoolander. Comment if you love Zoolander. We were talking to Mike about movies that he needs to watch. We need to add Zoolander immediately if he has not seen it. Told him School for Scoundrels.
Here's a little story for you guys. I know we're talking about Albert Pujols and the Dodgers, but I used to work at Blockbuster Video, and every night I'd be on the night shift. We'd close like at midnight or 11 or whatever. Every night, 2 hours before, we'd put Zoolander on all the screens. We'd turn off the trailer and we'd put Zoolander on. So many people would come in and go, "What movie is that?" And I'm like, "It's Zoolander." And we'd just have the copies up at the front, and they'd just rent them all out the whole weekend. So you're welcome. Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, all you guys, you're welcome. Helped you out.
Han Solo. Yes. And then we get to see Blue Steel at the end, and he's just like,
yes.
Blue Stealing it up. Who doesn't love Magnum? Yeah, there's a couple great cameos. The walk-off. All right, we dove too deep into this.
Blue Magnum or Blue Steel.
Yeah. This
is blue garbage right here. I'm a Dodger fan, Tony, and I'm talking bad about an acquisition to the Dodgers, but I mean, I guess he finally gets to realize how it is to play baseball in LA. That's the only good thing is because he hasn't played baseball in LA. He's finally moving to the LA County and going to play there because, you could call the Angels whatever you want, but they're not an LA team.
I have a new theory, Joe. What if he was allergic to the American League for a decade and getting back into the National League is what revives his career? And okay, you're right. Yeah. There's no scientific proof that you could be allergic to which division you're in. I will say this. I don't think he ends the season on the active roster. Like, I don't even know really what this is. Like, is he close to a record? Like, is there some record he needs to break? Like, he doesn't need the money, does he?
He doesn't. And last I heard that he was talking to the Cardinals about possibly going back there. And then all of a sudden the Dodgers like, nope, that's not going to happen. You're just going to come right next door. You're going to come on over and do, I don't know, Tony. It makes me mad to see this because he's 42 years old. Like, really? Like, his stats aren't there. You're going to tell me we don't have anybody else? I guess unless you said, like he says, he's lying on the ground right now and he just comes up like this. He just sits up. And we have to revive.
Boom.
See, I got the double picture.
And that's that. There it is. Paul Bearer coming to the rescue, coming to the side to get him. Joe, I know we got to wrap this up, and we're not going to get to all of the other things that I wanted to talk about because we just wanted a really fun Zoolander track. Yeah, I saw that comment in here, but I've never watched the whole thing. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Wow. It's a great movie. It's a fantastic cult classic.
I've failed, Tony, as a husband.
What about Office Space? Tell me that she's seen Office Space.
She has. She yes.
Fantastic. Mike Judge movies are absolutely top notch. I just want to say this, and we'll get out on this note, that the Green Bay Packers have signed another quarterback, Kurt. I don't know how you say his name, but they now have 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Jordan Love, Blake Bortles, and the new kid, Kurt here. This is the one thing I will say. I'll say 2 things about this before we get going. One, fantastic that you got another quarterback out there, but I am now convinced that Aaron Rodgers is more likely to be gone than to be back. Because
so you're saying that Aaron Rodgers has the case of the Mondays.
He has a case of the loves, a case of the Mondays for sure. Just I love that movie.
Somebody didn't give him cake over there.
Yeah. I think you have my stapler. Last time I didn't get a piece of cake because Milton is one of the most fantastic characters ever. So everybody, if you haven't seen Office Space, watch that. But Aaron Rodgers is gone. This to me was like they're bringing in another guy. I get the Blake Bortles signing, you want to have a veteran at camp, but if they're bringing in another guy, it signifies one thing. Maybe they're getting rid of Jordan Love and he won't be a developmental project, or maybe he's not as good as they thought that he was going to be. But here's the other thing that I want to say. The last time the Packers took a long shot on a young guy named Kurt, he was a grocery bagger in Canada. His name was Kurt Warner, and he made it all the way to the Hall of Fame. So who knows, Mr. Kurt Ben Kurt? I'm going to learn how to say her name properly. Maybe you too, at 25, congratulations on the contract, will play your way into a Hall of Fame contract. Everybody knows I root for the bench warmers. I root for the backups. I love me some Taylor Heinicke out there. Where does Rodgers land, though? Unfortunately, Mike, I believe it's the Broncos. I am like dead set that he's coming west before he goes east. I know some people have said this and that. One of my friends is big on the Patriots. He thinks that he's going to land there. The Belichick will sell the farm. I'm like, there's no way he does that. Look at that face. He's like, that guy? He's like, hang on a second. I get Favre had his panties in a bunch, but you guys thought that this was the guy that was going to replace. Have you seen me, bro? Do you know what I'm capable of doing out there? I just won the MVP, for crying out loud. Favre at least was playing bad.
This guy. You brought this guy?
Average. Yes. He's just looking at him like, and that's not the sun. It's not super sunny in Green Bay. Like, that was not a sun effect look. That was like, what are you doing making that throw? You clearly missed another read, or you're late on the throw or something. It was a very discouraging look of like, you can't hide. Some people cannot hide what they're thinking. Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys who cannot hide what he's thinking. That's kind of what I think why some people don't like.
I think I finally figured it out.
Rodgers
is Roy, right?
Yes.
Love is right there. He's Jim. It's you versus the guy she told you not to worry about, right there.
So wait, who am I in this scenario?
No. Rodgers is Roy.
Okay.
And Jordan Love is Jim Halpert. You know, he's taking over.
I'm gonna have to chew on that one for a second, because I can't do that. I just don't like the situation. I love all of those people way too much to be comparing it to my beloved Office. And I hate it. Like, I just can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure as a person, he's fantastic, right? He's like a vegan. He's a nice guy. His fiance is mega talented. So he's got some personality and charm, I'm assuming. I just don't know any of it. And as far as I'm concerned, as soon as he forced out Brett Favre, he was done to me. He was done. I would never like him.
Even after everything he's done, you're still blaming him for that.
Yes. All of it is blamed on him. It's his fault. It's his fault for sliding in the draft, because if he would have been a better interviewer, somebody else would have jumped up and got him, right? Like, if he had a better personality, he wouldn't have fallen to 24th. I don't know. So
this is how you watch the Packer games, huh?
This isn't happening. Yes, that is how I watch it. Right there. Full Michael Scott mode. I was upset. I threw away some Packer stuff that I had when they traded Brett Favre. I didn't get rid of all of it because I had a ton, but I threw away some when I was just done with Green Bay. I was done. Even when I go back there, I still it's just to drop some heat at the airport, and then I'm headed on my way back to Upper Michigan, where I belong, or where I'm from. Okay, Joe, I've had fun. I've had a blast again doing this, throwing these memes, these trending topics out there.
So you're going to make me go back to my life, get off the live, and go do what Joe Morley does? Is that what you're going to do?
Yes, I am.
This is me trying to handle my life after the show.
Oh, I can't see. This thing's in my way. Why is it in my way? Me trying to handle my life. There it is. Oh, Kevin. It's beautiful.
I don't know. Let me say that real quick. You ever seen that you? I'm sure you saw that show right there, or that segment of that show of when Kevin's bringing his beans in, he's all happy and he dumps it everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he's picking it all up. My wife gets mad at that scene. Like, she gets pissed at that scene because she can't, in her mind, she can't believe that they filmed a 2-minute thing of that and never talked about it the whole time again. Like, it didn't go to the office and go into the episode and be like, "Oh, Kevin, where are your beans at?" or anything like that. Like, he spilled it, did all that, and they never talked about it again.
I'm gonna have to watch that episode again. Because what is the joke? What are they setting up? Like, from a writer's standpoint, like, that might be a symbol, like just a symbol of Kevin's day or life or whatever his journey
and that's all
is
it was.
in the story.
It's like him coming to work all happy. He's gonna bring it because he makes the best beans in the world. And as he walks in, he dumps it everywhere, and then it just shows him like picking it up and he's sliding in it. But then after that, then they go to the like the office, and then they go right into a regular episode, but they never bring up like anything like that. So she's like, I can't. All that money that they spent on one scene.
Well, they waste money for everything in Hollywood. But there has to be one callback of Kevin spilling the beans or something. There has to be one in that episode. I got to watch it again. I haven't seen it in a while. But one of my favorite shows. It definitely in my top 5 of all time. So what do we have coming up after this? We have a Berman-esque recap coming up with Joe Scurto of the Madden Rookie Tournament. Tomorrow is Into the Crosshairs. Wednesday, Sports Force. And also we are doing the play-in live watch party. We're going to hang out and watch the Lakers Warriors. I'll probably be in and out of that depending on how that game goes.
And this guy's still in the Madden tournament.
And that guy's still in the Madden tournament. Mac, return of the Mac. Return of the Mac Jones. I really did. I did want to talk to you about how everybody's gushing over all these rookies at minicamp. I'm like,
I can't believe it.
Like, you guys, everybody realizes that they are just throwing to people in jogging suits with nothing else on.
You think he's still dressing like this after what he saw Mac Jones did at training camp? He's like, I'm not like you. Cam, you're done. You're done.
Oh, he's trading it in. He's trading in the nice digs. I love Cam style. So I hope that Belichick adopts that so that they can really have a good run and have some success. But yeah, I don't think any of these guys are blowing the doors open on what they're doing, just throwing passes to uncovered receivers. They're not even in a 7-on-7. They're literally just like tossing a ball. It's the same thing I say when people are like, did you see him at his pro day? I'm like, if he didn't look that good, he shouldn't be drafted.
Well, that's what somebody said yesterday. They were like, Justin Fields was so great. It looked better than his pro day. And I'm like, yes, he's throwing against other rookies or people that were undrafted. They just brought in to see if they want to sign him. And then he's throwing against, most of the time against air. It's like, you people don't understand, right? The people don't understand what these guys are doing. It's mini camp. They're not running plays. They didn't have time to study the play. And you know what we're talking about? We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice, Tony.
Practice? We're talking about practice. Not a game. Not a game. We're talking about practice. Practice.
Get
him, Alan.
These rookies are being so overhyped right now. It's crazy. And I saw Bill Belichick actually read one of these articles about how great Mac Jones looked, and this is the reaction he gave that article.
There's no way. Belichick is far too smart to be that excited about like a mini camp where they don't have veterans there. Like, what about when he puts the ones out there against Mac Jones? Is it going to be the same thing? Then some other guys who are undrafted, feeling the pressure, also the excitement of just being inside of a camp. Like, there's just, we are so in love with having a story of how it looks.
That's how it was. And that's probably the newspaper right now. Jones was perfect at training or mini camp.
Was perfect. That's kind of mean and funny. This is the other thing. Did you see the thing about Deshaun Watson? Like the rumors that they were like, oh, if he's going to be traded to the Panthers or the Eagles. And I was like, what happened to all the court stuff? Like, are we just skipping past all of that?
I read something that they could be making a deal if they do. I'm not sure. I try to stay out of it because why would I be reading about Deshaun Watson when Justin Fields is making moves like this at practice? Like, whew,
that footwork is impeccable. That's the football. That guy should have been drafted second based on that footwork, Joe. I don't want to
send the trophy over. Look at this. Send the trophy on over. It's going Chicago. Bring it on home. Bring it on home.
I don't want to break down the images too intensely, but just the bend in the knees was perfect. He looked like a guy who's going to throw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns for the Chicago Bears. Something they've never had.
People are watching right now and they're like, we're out. Really, guys? Still, you guys are still talking about practice.
Yeah, you guys are. They're like, you're making fun of people talking about practice while you talk about practice. We got really meta, really, really way deep into the weeds. All right, let me find this this little exit track here. Everything here. We appreciate everybody who stopped by, share, follow, like all the fun stuff.
Before we go, Tony,
Joe's got one more ditty for us.
Before we go, I just want to let everybody know that the Madden tournament is kicking off and it is getting good. So next week or next time we do this show, me and you are going to talk about playoffs. We're going to talk about playoffs.
You want to talk about playoffs? Did you see that garbage? He was over, like his head was so bent. It was like around the other side of the microphone. When he looked at that, it was like playoffs. Jim Mora was insane.
You can't even win a damn game and we're going to talk about playoffs? Playoffs? Oh. Anyways.
Yes.
I know I wasted a lot of your time, but it was a fun show.
No, I'm the one. I have the rest of my day to myself. You're the one who's
got
life ahead of you. Gunner. Yes. That's one to go back and watch, people. The stunner by Gunner. Ooh, in overtime.
I should have a complete bracket right now. I should be 4-0 on that bracket. A 4th and 37 in double overtime. I don't know how far that pass was. What was it? Like an 80-yard pass? Not even that. It was like, what, 67?
It was 4th and 37. So it was like a 68-yard touchdown to the house in double OT for them to win it. This question up here on the board by Mike is interesting because I think if I had to pick the first one to win a Super Bowl from this rookie class, it's probably Trey Lance, but I'm also not shocked if it's Mac Jones.
No. We all know it's going to be Davis Mills.
Davis Mills.
He's taking the Houston Texans to the Super Bowl 3 years from now, and we're all going to forget about Sean Watson and all. No, I'm just kidding.
What if that would be like the most ultimate turnaround ever? If David Culley came into the Texans and in like 3 years we were talking about how great of an organization this is. It won't happen. There is like 0% chance of that happening. And it won't be David Culley's fault. It's just that organization seems to be run by insane people.
I think you need to do a whole show on just David Culley's, like, on just him. Like, have you read some of the stuff that he says and the quotes that he comes out with is like unbelievable.
I don't really know anything about David Culley other than he was with like maybe the Ravens organization, I believe.
Yeah, and he was remember a couple years ago when the Chiefs couldn't catch a ball, like the receivers went without catching a ball forever.
Oh, the 0 touchdowns you're talking about. Yeah, they had no touchdowns for a whole year. That was like the end of the Jeremy Maclin era.
So guess who the wide receiver coach was?
Since we're talking about it, I'm going to assume it's David Culley.
Yes.
That's something to have on your resume, because this is what I always tell my kids. Like, if you're going to do something bad, then just do it bad. Like, just do a terrible job. You know, like if you're picking something up and you're going to do it half-assed, just throw it. So if you're going to coach receivers and they're going to be average, don't have them be average. Just have them have 0 touchdowns all year. Like, make sure that Alex Smith has to struggle and people wonder, can he do it? It wasn't Alex Smith's fault. When Alex Smith finally got some talent, he lit it up. And then Andy Reid was like, you're still not good enough, bro. You're going to Washington.
You're trash, kid.
Ouch. I don't think Andy Reid would ever say anything horrible. Like, he seems like too nice of a guy. All right, Joe. Have a good day. And I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Everybody else, peace.